Okay, I just finished reading The Last Ringbearer by Kirill Yeskov. This was originally a Russian novel that had been translated, and I do highly recommend this if you are a Tolkien fan. It is an apocryphal version of the historic events within the world of the War of the Rings. So, first and foremost, you need to be aware of that before you open it up. Second, because it is apocryphal, some of the parts differ quite a bit from what is talked about in the Lord of the Rings series, which is really, really neat because this is a story told from the so-called bad guy point of view. If you like Nazguls, you're going to like this. I really, really enjoyed the fact that the Nazgul that makes an appearance in this particular book is a doctor. Well, he was actually a mathematician. That is a type of doctor. But, yeah, a mathematician Nazgul. There are always 9. The Witch King of Angmar is acknowledged by Sharna Raya, I forget the name already. But very well done, Nazgul. I really enjoyed the fact that he was a relatable character, even with the scary dark face under the hood, which, well, if you're an RPGer like me, that's a fun character. The hero of the tale. Field medic, 2nd class. Not the kind of guy that you would anticipate as being the Mordorian hero. He teams up with enemies, even a Gondorian. You really need to read it because me just talking about it isn't going to convey how interesting the character interplay was. I really enjoyed how some of the characters that we grew up with as thinking of, good guys, are portrayed as not such good guys. Arwen, for instance, I found very interesting. Hello, cat. What are you doing on my table? Lightning, that's distracting. Okay. I will move this for you. There you go. So yes, it was very interesting from that point of view. It gives an added depth to the Tolkien world. The Council of Wizards, the White Council. Beautiful. I really enjoyed getting to see more of Saruman and Gandalf, Radagast, Blue Wizards. You never hear about the Blue Wizards. It was a Blue Wizard. I like this. Let's see here. Very long book. It took me quite a while to finish reading it. Didn't have as much time as I would have liked to have read it. I forget exactly how many pages it is. I have a Kindle version. But, so, that doesn't really help with figuring out how long it's going to take you to read it. But it took me quite a while, and I usually get through books pretty fast. Again, this is The Last Ringbearer, written by a Dr. Kirill Yeskov. There are parts that were a little bit slow for me. When we leave Halidin and follow the Baron for a bit, at first that was kind of slow for me. It took me a little bit to figure out, we've shifted points of view, and this is kind of a bit boring here, but I'll stick with it. Do stick with it if it gets boring for you, because you will enjoy having stuck with it afterwards to get to the good stuff again. There is a bit of romance in there for you romantics. There's a lot of political intrigue. The whole book is based on political intrigue and following the course of war from the point of view of the people who are involved in it. You do get to hear a bit more in this than other stories about what happens to the people that are not directly involved. For instance, I probably shouldn't say what blows up, because that's a spoiler, but something does blow up, and that does cause a tsunami that, wreaks some havoc. We hear about the backgrounds of some of the characters that you wouldn't normally get to hear about. So it shifts around a little bit to give you background and get to fully understand. Do not spill my coffee. There's no coffee crimes today, cat. To get to understand a bit more about the different characters and why they are the way they are, what they're doing, why they are doing it. I really enjoyed getting into the different characters' heads. So the point of view matched Tolkien's pretty well, actually, considering it wasn't Tolkien himself writing, which is really, really nice. And again, it's an apocryphal history of the War of the Ring. The Last Ringbearer, the title is intentionally mirroring Frodo's journey a bit. You don't see Frodo at all in this because it's a different ring. It's one of the rings of the Nazgul. Technically, one of the characters becomes a Nazgul with a very special magical gift that is very rare. You really need to read that to understand it yourself, because if I tell you, you're going to come smack me upside the head for spoiling that bit for you. If you're not a big fan of reading, I don't know what to tell you. I personally would find it worth putting down an RPG manual in order to read this. I don't know if there's any audiobook versions out there, but it would be an interesting one to hear in audio format. It would be hugely long. I had considered reading it for one of the libraries that I volunteer for, but as much as I would absolutely adore to, I don't think I want to commit that many weeks to reading one book, especially with how parts of it, if you miss, you're gonna get lost until you catch up again. So that wouldn't really be all that great. But do try to find a copy of the book. I will provide you with a link to find it. Or try to find somebody that's read it and recorded it, I guess. It's worth listening to. It's worth reading. It is absolutely worth the time. Especially if you enjoy roleplay games. This was not a roleplay. However, this is an excellent example of what you can do within an already created world. Having your own adventures that might or might not affect the story that's already been told by somebody else. But then again, I'm partial to anything with a Nazgul in it, so don't take my word for it. Read it. It is written by a scientist. Let me double check again. Oh no, I turned it off. I hit the wrong button. Derpy derp derp derp. Let's see here. He is not in linguistics. he is something else. Arg. Anyway, he's a scientist, so it's very science heavy. If you enjoy machinery, if you enjoy weaponry, you're going to like this. You get descriptions of the mechanics. It's just really interesting. You get to hang out with the scientists as they're doing what they're doing. You get to hang out with spies doing what they're doing. Secret police make an appearance in here. Reanimated dead make an appearance in here. If you've been rather wary of the elves, you'll find yourself justified in this story, because the elves are something to be wary of in the depiction in this book. Let's see. That's really all I can think of to say, other than, the same thing I've said before. Get the book, read the book, enjoy the book. Okay, well, that is it for now. I am going to sign off, and thank you very much.